Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Yeah. The journey's always part of the goal. Every shot I shoot, I hope that I hit the soul. I'm waiting for you, baby, cause that man that you have, he ain't worth it, he keeps his heart in his
I'm T-Piz and I do videography, and I'm a poet and I'm a rapper and a writer. So I've been making music since I was like 16. I started with poetry. I used to listen to a lot of like George the Poet, Sully Breaks, and all of those guys who kind of did the with them educational spoken word videos on YouTube and that. And I was watching that. By the time I was like super shy, I didn't really like talk and perform and that. I went to performing arts school, but I didn't really use it. But then I did this thing called a challenge. It's like a summer school type thing, and we had a talent show, and I just woke up at like 7 o'clock in the AM after thinking I wasn't going to do nothing for that talent show. I was just like, you know what, let me write a poem. And I wrote it in that in them 2 hours, and I performed it that night, and it was great. And ever since then I think that I've come back to poetry every now and then over time it just became the thing that I just do for whatever reason. In terms of like the video and stuff like that, that kind of just came from beginning year 9. My friend, me and Bradley, my friend, we used to like watch a lot of like anime, and we found like a whole bunch of like YouTubers just talking about that stuff. And we kind of just jumped in and just did it. And then through doing that, we just started editing, learned how to edit videos and stuff like that. And now, I guess it kind of just progressed into, me using it for just general like making music, using video for like making videos for other people, different clients. My Instagram's like a business account now. I kind of just make money by making videos for people and stuff like that, and just collaborating. So, yeah. Family sauce. That's easy, do we? This guy, man. See this hoodie, yeah? J Prince is a rapper from East London. He's like the guy for me because all of his lyrics, like a lot of UK hip hop coming from Peckham, like a lot of UK hip hop came from like gigs and a bunch of artists that were in this life. While I did relate to it because I lived there, I grew up listening to like soulful music like Erykah Badu, a bunch of like chill stuff. And J Prince, he was like the only guy I knew in the UK of talking about like just balling out in this loan, like student loan, just like struggling with like university, trying to just do his thing and that. And I thought that was so cool. I still think that's so cool, and his vibe is just lit. So I always try and I think after listening to his album so much, I kind of ended up taking a little bit from it and then doing my own thing as well. So J Prince. I don't think that I think that over time music's become kind of separated in terms of the idea of rap and poetry. Like that's what rap means. I feel like a lot of the time now we get music that isn't so much poetic. You don't have as much storytelling. You don't have much like of that that essence, that soulful essence that you get from a lot of artists like from back in the day, like that. You see it in Kendrick Lamar and stuff, but you don't really get what I mean, that poetry type of stuff. And I guess for me, I don't like making music just for the sake of it. I don't like just saying words that sound cool often. Like I like to, actually construct sentences and ideas in music. I like to kind of deviate as well. There are songs that are coming out like Lever. It's a nice like songwriting-y rap song, and then it turns into like a spoken word poem, but it's still kind of a rap because the words and the way I say it is still on beat. Like just doing weird stuff like that just to get my point across. I don't think many people do that. I think I grew up thinking I was such an introvert. Like I am. Like I like staying indoors. I like being alone sometimes. But I feel like over like growing up, I kind of convinced myself that I didn't really like being in front of the camera. I didn't really like being on stage. I didn't really like being the center of attention because I was a lot more shy when I was younger, and so I just naturally ended up being behind the scenes. But I feel like living the way I live now, like just putting myself out there, going up to strangers, going to my favorite artists on the street and just saying, yo, let's link up and do this, just doing all this, like just putting myself out there, it's kind of made me realize how much I enjoy just sharing and giving something back to people. I think, especially when I went to the bodega yesterday to perform for like Luke Foster's show, it was like I was on stage and I was talking to all these people, and I was watching them get into the music that I created for them. Like, do you know how sick that is to watch someone just enjoy your art like that and maybe take meaning from it? And remember, I don't try to rap about just anything, it's all meaningful stuff. Like, I want people to take home something from what I make, whether it is video or music. I don't know what I'm gonna do in 5-6 years, maybe everything, maybe nothing, but I'd like to know that there's people taking something from it. So if I learn anything, I just learn that I'd like to give knowledge and share what I learn.
It's kinda crazy, man. They think that I'm weird. I got this.
I guess the journey is the most important thing for me. I mean, my name on most of my stuff, I copyright my band, this young boy on the journey, because I feel like people seem to think that the world is this strict like line, like, I'm gonna wake up every morning and when I'm 18 I'm gonna go to university, I'm gonna get my doctorate, and like because their mum told them to, then when I'm 23 I'm gonna be married, I'm gonna have children and everything's gonna be sick. And then when that doesn't happen, people get upset. And I just like to think that that's not the case. That's not what life is. Life is more than some plan. You know, there's a process to it. There's growth that gets involved. There's all sorts of things that just make it interesting and beautiful. And I like to think that things will come to me in my own time. Things will come to you in your own time as well. Like, love doesn't come like just to you, it comes out of nowhere, like you don't expect it. So does success, so does everything else that we find amazing in this world. So I feel like the one thing I want to like tell everyone is that your time will come, as long as you don't get yourself in that hole of thinking that, you know, you've got to follow this order, and if something ain't going the way you thought it was, then you're a failure. There's no failures, man, as long as you keep going. So that's the message I try to give out. I think my main challenges have always been to do with, you know, actually getting in there, like just pushing through doors to progress. I feel like I started off doing absolutely nothing. I wasn't musical when I was younger. I wasn't doing this. I was playing video games and being in my room, you know what I'm trying to say. So I think everything I do from now is kind of me trying to get past comfort zones each time, and every time I get past my comfort zone, something good happens. Every time I chat to someone in the street and tell them to, you know, I ask them what they're doing because they got a camera, and I'm like, yo, your camera's sick, what is it? They're gonna give me information. There was a time that took so much energy out of me, so much like social energy, that I just didn't want to do it. And now that I've done that, you know, I've ended up getting the knowledge to, you know, pick up my own camera and, you know, start my own little company thing and make a bit of cash for that. Music wise, chatting to my favorite artists and trying to like get involved in their lives, and so that we can create something together. I think my biggest challenge has always just been just pushing through doors and finding out how I can, you know, give value to people. So I hope that made sense. Yeah, nah, lying is, I wouldn't want to do that because I want to create the honest truth in everything I do. How can I say I want to support, you know, this whole journey and, you know, boosting confidence if I can't even be honest about myself? I wouldn't want to, you know, start talking about certain things just because it's popular, or like start making certain types of videos I don't even like the idea of, just because it's gonna give me a bit of money or something like that. That's dead. Like, I want to be good and, you know, respected for what I did on my own terms, and yeah. Yeah, but I think that's normal. Just when I started out, like I said, I didn't do anything. I literally just started rapping for no reason. So I was dead. I was rubbish. No buzz, just a couple words that I wrote down. And when I was in school, I know like low key, yeah, people were laughing behind the scenes. I just didn't know at the time. And so they weren't as supportive as, I mean, rightfully so, because I wasn't good at the time. But you know, resistance is energy, man. Like friction, all of that, it makes heat. Like when someone tells me that like they don't like what I've done or something like that, I can either accept it and move on because maybe it's just not for them, or I might just flip it around and be like, no, this will be for you in the future. You will enjoy it later. It's fine. You don't have to like me now. You can sleep on me now, but in the future, you're gonna see something, and you're gonna be very respectful. So have I said resistance? Have I had resistance? Yeah, definitely, all the time. Probably even today. You know, I'm not like some professional. I'm sure if I showed like some famous director my work now, they wouldn't be too happy. But I know that there will be a time when they'll be like, yeah, he's this guy. I didn't like it then, but I like it now. So. Family, man. My mum, my friends, everyone in my circle is important. I don't keep people who are really driven or, you know, on the same mindset as me. We're all trying to do something sick. Because that's just how I live. Like I'm focused on what I want to do. So it's nice to have people around you who are also, you know, supportive and also supporting themselves too. You know what I'm trying to say? Because one day we can all like chill together and just be happy. My mom's always been there for me since before I was even confident in myself. She was confident in me. Like she'd be telling me, "Yo, you're good at this. You're good at this. You could do this." And it may not have been exactly what I would have wanted to do, but at least she saw something in me that was helpful. You know what I'm trying to say? She thought I'd be making games and that. Not gonna happen. Not gonna lie. But like that. The creative aspect that she saw in me I'm using that today before I even knew I had it. My friends, my cousins, I got a lot of actor friends and they're all doing their thing. You know, my cousin was on TV the other week and that was awesome on the BBC. Seeing them doing that, it pushed me. It made me want to like, you know, make more stuff and hopefully I can do something similar. So yeah, that's my support system. Just like start, man. I know I've encountered a lot of people since I've been chatting to all these strangers and people who are actually doing this, and the one theme I've noticed in terms of the people who, you know, I think are gonna get there and the people I think are gonna kind of stagnate for a bit until they realize this, I think you just need to start. You just need to start like ASAP, as soon as you can. Like I have on my wall, like literally, I think it's over there, 5 seconds. 5 seconds, you have 5 seconds to make a decision. If you don't make it in that 5 seconds, you're probably gonna doubt you. That means you're doubting yourself for one. You haven't got the confidence to push forward and actually do it, and most likely not gonna do it to the best of your ability. When I wake up in the mornings, at least I try to, at 6:30, I'm like, flip, I gotta get up now. Or most likely, I'm not gonna do it. Or I'm gonna start the day off on a bad note thinking, I could have slept. You know what I'm trying to say? After the 5 seconds, I'm thinking, what if I had slept though? Would I feel better? That's not true. So just start. You may think you're rubbish now at what you're doing, but there will be a time when you can turn the page and start that next chapter and it'll be sick. Like you can blow, man. Anyone can do well as long as you try. My art is my journey. Sure.
My